Welcome back to The Big Show. It's Alex Belford in the morning, BBC Radio Leeds. Now, everybody knows there's a few groups who I play a lot of on this programme, and one of them happens to be the Lighthouse family. They've had hits including Lifted and Ocean Drive, and they're back with a brand new tour, and they're working on a new album as well. They're coming to Sheffield and all over the country, and I'm delighted to say the singer Tunde and keyboard player Paul join us right now. How are you guys?
Very well, thank you.
Really well.
Hey, listen, what's it like being you? Because you're all over, aren't you? Radio 2 play you, those commercial stations play you, we play you. You've got mainstream music that people like, and it's not that cheesy. That's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we just make music that we love the sound of ourselves, you know. We go into the studio and we just try and get some sunshine sound coming out the speakers, you know. We write music that we love ourselves, big uplifting, sing your head off tunes, you know. And we don't like cheese either.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, Lifted is obviously uplifting. Was that your biggest track? Because Ocean Drive, I think, was the first one I played where I went, ooh, wow, fabulous. And then, of course, you kept bringing out songs that were equally as popular. What's been your biggest hit?
I think High's pretty big. High was big, Lifted was big.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to have a few of them. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, just sometimes we have to pinch ourselves as well, you know, to kind of, you know, believe what's happened to us over the past 10 years. Really good stuff. I mean, it is a strange experience, I have to say, when you walk into a store and you hear your own voice coming out of the tannoy speakers.
Help me with the money you've made, because you've penned most of these yourselves, you've toured them, they keep playing them month after month. Are you actually really rich now?
We haven't done badly out of this, really. I mean, you know, but the thing is, you got to remember the reason. It's a bit like footballers, I suppose. You know, we it's the glory. You know, you want to write a huge tune, you want to hear it on the radio, you want to go and play it live and hear people singing it back at you. You know, I mean, footballers don't like sitting on the bench and getting paid loads of money. You know, they want to go out and play.
Would you like me to sing to you now? I would like to do a few of your numbers. We could be lifted, we could be lifted, Ocean Drive, high. I could do them all.
Yeah, well.
You're trying to put him out of a job.
Sounds good.
Karaoke with the Lighthouse family. Who'd have thought it? I'll tell you why I love High. I know this is an Anuraki thing to say, but I always stick that on when I've got a lot to do on the programme. There's a lovely intro of about 40 seconds on that one, giving me enough time to talk it up. You've got to think about these things if you want to play it on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, when we actually, the album version, the vocal comes straight in on that song, but when we did the single edit, that's what we thought, you know. We actually thought the strings are so beautiful on that record, it'd be nice to have them on their own for a few seconds, you know. Beautiful orchestral string.
To be honest with you, I don't think there is any set formula for doing that. All you do is, as Paul said before, we love what we do, and that's the main ingredient, I think, that we put into any of the songs that we write, and then the songs just take on a life of their own. You can't really predict or plan to have a hit. All you can really do, as Paul said, and I agree totally, is write a song that you love yourself, and then it's totally out of your hands after that.
All right, Paul, let's get Anuraki then. Lifted. What came first, the words or the tune, and how long did it take?
Lifted, the tune came first, then the words. I went down, sat by. It was actually weird because it was snowing in Newcastle. There was about a foot of snow on the ground. I went and sat down by the swing bridge in Newcastle. It was this really strange landscape, and that's when I wrote the lyric. But the tune was there first. Ocean Drive, it was the other way round. The whole song was written before the music, so it was all of the words, all the tune. I mean, I always think, if you want to write a song, all you've got to be able to do is sing it. You know, so if you can sing it, it's a song.
Let me be honest with you. I probably do 2 good shows a week out of the 5, and I think that's enough. That's all that the audience can expect. 2 really good shows, 3 rubbish ones. That's fine. They'll keep with you.
Yeah.
How many songs do you throw in the bin to get a Lifted or an Ocean Drive?
I think you just got to keep writing. You just write all the time, and the more you write, from time to time, you can't. They can't all be High. They can't all be Lifted. They can't all be Ocean Drive. You know. That's just you when you're firing on all cylinders and just everything slots into place. It's just, you can't, as Tunde said, you know, it's kind of, but I think, you know, you sort of, I mean, I think it was Bono said once, you've got to write every day. Just keep writing, and you get better and better, and you sort of, and you kind of, you know when you're on the right track. And I always say, you know, if the wheels come off the car, it's not going anywhere. There's no point trying to push it.
And where do you think these wonderful thoughts come from? Is it some godly character, or is it just your own personal genius?
That's just silly. No, I think really, I mean, take Ocean Drive for example. That's a song you know you kind of go through a bit of a rough spell, and you write a song for yourself to kind of cheer yourself up, to make yourself feel better. You know, so that's what you do for that's kind of where that song came from. You're kind of writing a song to put a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for yourself, and I think that kind of, you know, you create this little movie, you write this little story, you try and bring the movie to life, and if it works for you, then you play it to somebody else and it works for them. That's kind of how it works. It just kind of passes on like that, you know. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm really curious about the fact that you keep playing these songs and people keep asking you to sing them. Does that get boring, or is it like your little baby, you're just very proud and showing it off?
Well, we didn't play live for a while. We haven't played live for a long time, and we're going out on the road again. We're playing in Manchester in I think it's the 5th of March, and in Sheffield on the 7th. And we haven't played these songs for a long time. You do get to the point where you've kind of played them a lot, and they sort of they lose their sparkle a bit. But the thing is, we've gone back to them now, and it's almost like it's a real joy, because, you know, we're going through the tunes thinking, oh, I forgot about that. It's kind of, you almost forgot how good it was, you know. It's almost like bringing the whole thing back to life. A lot of these songs have sort of sprung back into life for us in the last couple of months, you know. It's kind of it's a really nice process. And you're right, it is your baby. You know, and I think what's happened to us is we've kind of got to the point where we're thinking, no, this is us, this is Lighthouse Family, this is what we do, this is what we're all about, this is what we should be doing.
Tony Christie's got Amarillo as his encore song. Nobody can leave without hearing that 16 times. What is the song they really want to hear again and again that you have to keep doing until they leave the door?
Oh man, they're quite well. Ocean Drive definitely is one of them. High is one of them. We've talked about those. But another one is Free, actually, which is not a song that we wrote. It's like a Nina Simone cover that we did for the last album we made. And I think that really, really strikes a chord with a lot of people.
Lifted too, yeah.
And Lifted, yeah.
Is it fun being you two? I mean, you're in a big band, you're on the road, you write great songs, you've got a few bob in your pocket. I mean, can you get the ladies being you two?
So do you know what it is with that? Sometimes you have a moan and you think, I've got no right to be moaning. You know, you have to sort of slap yourself a bit, and my wife often does when I'm whinging, because we are really lucky. We're in a really nice place, you know. We have been very, very lucky. We've been fortunate. You know, it's a dream really what's happened to us, you know, over the last few years. It's amazing, as I said. And sometimes when you're having a little whinge, you have to slap yourself.
Yes, catch up with yourself. And I'm just doing the maths here. My spies tell me 10 million records sold. Does that mean you've got about 10 million between you, something like that?
Well, that's the public perception of how it works, so who are we to complain?
How do you do abroad? Because your music is transatlantic, isn't it?
Yeah, we've the thing about Lighthouse Family songs is they seem to have worked everywhere. I mean, South America, you know, I get people ringing me, oh, I've just heard you tune in a taxi in Mexico or Peru or something. But, you know, we sold records in Asia and Australia and all over Europe and all over the world, really. I mean, I think a tune's a tune, really. And they're radio songs as well. You know, the Lighthouse Family songs are radio songs. So it's kind of, I don't know, they seem to have travelled really well. They've got their little suitcases and they've gone off around the world and you know, it's kind of strange. I mean, when you are somewhere else and you hear it in the weirdest places.
Is it easy listening to you, by the way, Tunde? Does that feel good when you hear your voice? It's a bit strange.
I think over the years it's kind of gotten better, but I must admit, initially when I first heard my voice coming out of the speakers in the studio when we recorded our first album, it was always a weird experience for me. I was never really quite comfortable with it. For some reason, I just couldn't believe that's what I sounded like. I think, you know, in my head, when I speak or sing, the way I hear myself was always different to what I heard coming out of the speakers. So it's taken a while, but now I think I'm comfortable with it.
I want to thank you two, because I've been doing radio about as long as you've been making records, and all through my career, every radio station I've been fired from, you've been there with me, and I thank you for that. Great tracks, Lifted and Ocean Drive, and of course High we played earlier. All right, let's end with Ocean Drive, probably the best song you've ever written. Is that true, or am I pushing it?
Oh, it's like you don't want to pick one of your children over the other.
Come on, you've got to do it. There's always an ugly child. There's always one that you think he's not as smart as the other one.
Well, Ocean Drive is the song that started it all for us. Ocean Drive is the first song that we did together. It's the kind of blueprint for Lighthouse Family. It's the record that got us our deal. It's the record that started the whole thing off. So I suppose it's always going to have a special place for us. Yeah, you're right.
Very good. Sheffield City Hall, Monday, 7th of March. You don't know anybody that could get me a couple of tickets, do you? Anybody like high up that could sneak me?
I certainly do. I'm
Really?
standing next to somebody now who could do that for you.
I would love that because I'm a big fan of what you do. Sheffield City Hall, Monday, 7th of March, and then Manchester's O2 Apollo on the 5th of March. That's a Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you, boys. Thanks for coming on the programme.
Cheers,
to Tunde and Paul.